Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this week's Together We Shine practice. The bhavana, or the theme or through line for the practice this week, is overcoming inertia. And this is something that we will need to be addressing pretty continuously throughout our lives, regardless of how advanced our spiritual practice becomes. There will always be inertia because there will always be resistance. The human psyche will always resist change because it feels safer for the most part with what it knows. And the spiritual path is innately a path of change. Growth is change. Transformation is change. And we're going to resist it. And one of the greatest forms of resistance is inertia, which is this sort of a lack of willingness to move forward. And we are being called to move forward. And often, as soon as we do start to move forward, that's when we feel resistance. Just like if you're going for a walk or riding a bike, or if you happen to ever be on the bow of a boat, as soon as you start to pick up speed, moving forward, you're going to get the resistance of the wind in your face. It is inevitable, unavoidable, and generally a good sign that you're moving. But it's also often quite uncomfortable. And so that little bit of resistance will sometimes inspire going back to inertia. And inertia is what keeps us stuck and stagnant and not growing, not changing. One of the greatest forms of stagnation is our attachment to the thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs that we are utilizing to define ourselves in ways that will keep us stuck and stagnant. So there are some attachments that we have that will propel us forward, other attachments that are going to keep us inert. So one of the things that we need to do is apply this first stage of what is referred to as vairagya, which is this sort of moving away from the ties that bind us, particularly with these thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs that are keeping us stuck in old patterns that we're ready to move through. Okay. We can engage with vairagya on a contemplative level. We can engage with vairagya in meditation. We can also boost the impetus that we have through our asana practice by recognizing where we may want to back off from our engagement and not even give it an effortless effort, but just no effort whatsoever. So we're going to ask ourselves instead to be present to that tendency to want to disengage, to be present to it, to witness it, and then to choose to engage anyhow. So this is not an encouragement to defy wisdom that is rooted in self-care. Instead, it is intended to make you a little bit more curious about in what ways am I stuck to habits that are not serving me, and how can I move either through them or away from them. Some of us will have habits of over-efforting, which lead to exhaustion and burnout and depletion. Others of us are going to have habits that are more rooted in this sort of lackluster, I'd rather just stay stuck where I am. I don't want to apply myself modality. So wherever you are, whatever your tendencies are, this is not a one size fits all. So be curious about your relationship with inertia. What is it that you feel the call to move through? How can you engage with your effort skillfully so that on the other side of that inertia, you're able to lay claim to greater freedom and fulfillment? Okay, let's go ahead and start out in Makarasana, a little bit of breath training, and then we'll move forward. We'll only be in Makarasana for about a minute, but still take your time to get there, to get yourself set up. And then try to drop into the awareness of the breath and that smooth, steady, even rhythm as soon as you can. Three or four more breaths. Starting to move slowly but assuredly. Come up onto the hands and the knees. Prepare for a few rounds of cow and cat. Once you're established on the hands and knees, just start to move the spine. And in particular on exhale, bring awareness into the navel center and feel a little fire in the belly. And then on inhale, bring awareness into the heart center and feel how that fire encourages expansion. Exhale, feel the fire in the belly. Inhale, expanding through the heart. A couple more times. On the next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Exhale, just swing the head and the hips to the right. Inhale back through the center. Exhale, swing the head and the hips to the left. Gently opening up through the side body. A few more times back and forth. And then again, back through to the center. Start to take the pelvis around in some circles. And again, invite that churning sensation in the space of the belly. At the same time that you're loosening up through the pelvic region, through the hips. A space where we often will keep ourselves stuck, bound up. Making it difficult for things to flow on a physical level as well as energetic and spiritual. When you're ready, switch directions. and then come back through to the center. From here, take another inhale and tuck the toes, preparing to shift the hips up and back. Exhale, find downward facing dog. On the next inhale, roll forward to a plank position. And exhale, draw the navel to the spine and use that connection to float the hips up and back again to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Once more, inhale, roll forward to plank. Stay on exhale. Inhale, rock forward a little further, bringing the shoulders past the fingertips. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Moving through cobra dynamically. Inhale, wrap the shoulders back. Draw the sternum through, lift through the crown of the head. Exhale, release. 3 more times. Inhale, find your cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, as you move into cobra, feel that sense of expansion around the heart space. And exhale, fire in the belly. Once more. With the next inhale, return to the hands and the knees. Tuck the toes. Exhale back to downward facing dog. This time in down dog, feel free to pedal the feet a few times, tending to whatever the body wants and needs in the moment. On the next inhale, let's lift the heels, soften the knees, and gaze between the hands. Exhale, step lightly to the top of the mat. Pressing down through both feet equally. Inhale, draw the sternum and collarbones forward, lifting halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hug the belly up and in as you fold forward over the legs. Again, inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. With the next inhale, rise to stand. Reach for the sky. And on exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Good. Take the arms around in a few big shoulder rolls, just opening up a little bit more through the front and back space of the heart. Good. Reverse the direction. Start to give your hands a little bit of a shake, as though you could literally shake off that feeling of being stuck or inert in any way. Continue to let the body sway gently from side to side, just as much as feels good and keeps this relatively soft and effortless. Let that shaking come into the arms a bit more. This can be as vigorous or as gentle as you want and need it to be. Good. Give your knees a little bit of a bounce, pardon me, so the feet can stay on the ground or the heels can lift off the ground. But just inviting a little bit of that shaking into the entire system. Try to relax the jaw, relax the lips. Keep this bouncing going for a bit longer. And then we're going to bring in a little bit of a swinging sensation. So let the arms swing forward and back a few times. And then cross one arm over the top of the other, switching the arm that's on top with each rotation. Okay, this one might be a little bit different. The arms are going to swing out to the sides, and then the right arm will cross in front, left arm behind as you swivel to the left. Back through to the center, and then switch sides. Let this be kind of playful. Playful and loose. And when you've gone to each side an equal number of times, come back through to the center and shake that off as well. Good. A really simple little twist. Feet are about hip distance, toes angled open slightly. Elbows are bent. The fists are quite loose, palms facing up, and just a little twist. So similar to what we were just doing, but bringing a little bit more emphasis into the spinal rotation, as well as feeling that bit of contraction in the navel as it hugs to the spine to keep it safe. And then slow that down, coming back through to the center. Now standing on one leg, let's stand on the left leg. Let the right leg swing forward and back a few times. So just loosening up a bit through the hip. And then switch legs. Swing the right leg across and off to the side a couple of times. And then when you're ready, switch. Good. And then let that go as well. Put a little softness into the knees and make the soles of the feet a bit more supple. Inhale, just sweep the arms up. Exhale, let them release back down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, melt back down. Good. Let's bend the knees now and place the hands on the thighs. Let the arms lock so that you're creating a little bit of traction in the spine. Similar to cow and cat. On inhale, expand through the heart center. Stretch the belly as you lift through the crown of the head and tailbone. Exhale, contract, hugging the chin in, scooping up through the belly, lifting through the pelvic floor. And again, a little fire there at the navel center. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hug in, a little squeeze at the belly. 2 more times. And then back to the hands on the knees, long neutral spine. And similar to when we were on our hands and knees, take the pelvis around in some circles again. And feel once more that churning sensation in the belly as we release stagnation through the hips, through the pelvis and lower back. Switch directions. And back through to the center. Take a couple of breaths in a neutral alignment. On the next inhale, come back up to a standing position, finding Tadasana near the top of the mat. Two rounds of Surya Namaskara A, any variation that you like to work with. We're just trying to move through any stagnation that might be present in the body and mind. On an inhale, reach up. And on an exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank and lower either halfway or all the way down to the ground. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And on exhale, release. From here, take as many breaths, as many postures as you need to make your way back to downward facing dog. Enjoy an extra breath in down dog once you get there. Then when you're ready, inhale and lift the heels, soften the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, release the arms and the hands. Moving right into the second round. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank and lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And on exhale, again, as many postures, as many breaths as you need. Eventually, find your way back to downward facing dog. With the next inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. And exhale, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach for the sky. And exhale, let the arms come back down by your sides. This time, give yourself an extra breath. With the next inhale, find Utkatasana. Sink the hips, sweep the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, straighten the legs back to Tadasana. Moving dynamically a few times. Inhale, sit in your chair. Exhale, release. Two more times, your pace. With the next inhale, come back into your chair. On the exhale, sweep the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back, bend the elbows, and see if you can draw your knuckles a little bit closer to your sacrum or tailbone. Drop the shoulder blades, keep wrapping the triceps together. Root down through the feet, navel to spine, lift the sternum and collarbones, gently lift the chin and gaze, breathing into the heart space with inhale. And reaffirming that fire in the belly with exhale. One more breath. On the next exhale, fold over the legs, keep the hands bound for now. Press into both feet evenly. Inhale, lift halfway. Try to float the knuckles up toward the ceiling. Exhale, stay in the half lift and press the spine a little bit further into the body. One more inhale here. Draw the sternum a little further forward. And on exhale, release the hands and forward fold, step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa, whatever you want and need. Take your time finding your way back to downward facing dog and re-regulate the breath. With the next inhale, float the right leg up and back, open the hip. On exhale, draw the right knee toward the right shoulder or armpit. Inhale, reach the leg up and back. Exhale, draw the right knee toward the left shoulder or armpit. Inhale, reach the leg up and back. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, reach the leg up and back. And exhale, lunge the foot through, preparing to rise for warrior two. When you're set up properly, inhale, come on up. Exhale, soften the shoulders, relax the neck, extend out through the wrists. Moving dynamically, inhale, straighten the right leg, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, come back in. 3 more times. And the next time you find yourself in your warrior posture, remain for a moment. Often, in order to overcome our inertia, we have to be at least prepared and willing to go to battle in the name of what we desire more than what is currently keeping us stagnant or stuck. This is one of the many reasons why these warrior postures can be so helpful. They help us tap into a part of our own psyche that is fully equipped to overcome that which is keeping us stuck in our old ways. So just give this inner warrior another breath or two. And on the next inhale, straighten the leg again, sweep the arms up. On the exhale, let the arms come down and then just bring your left foot, your back foot, a little bit closer in and rotate it in a little bit more, preparing for a variation of Trikonasana. On the inhale, sweep the right arm up. And on the exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, extend the left arm up and over. Exhale, just the left arm sweeps back. With the next inhale, lift the right arm, glue it to the ear, then rise up. And on exhale, we'll go right back into it. Hinging into your Trikonasana. Inhale, extend the left arm up and over. Exhale, sweep just the left arm back, navel to spine. Inhale, lift the right arm, glue it to the ear, and rise. We'll do it 2 more times. Exhale, reaching, hinging. Inhale, extend the left arm. Exhale, sweep the arm back. Inhale, glue the right arm to the ear and rise. Exhale, last time, hinge into Trikonasana. Inhale, extend the left arm up and over. Exhale, sweep the arm back. Root down through the feet, lift up through the inner thighs and pelvic floor, navel to spine. Inhale, extend the right arm. Exhale, stay, reach through both wrists. Inhale, rise, reach both arms up, bring the feet parallel. Exhale, forward fold, let the hands slide down the backs of the legs. Place the hands on the ground or onto blocks. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale here. Fold forward. Keep the breath out and lift halfway again. Release the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Fold forward. Hold the breath out and lift halfway. Release the belly. Inhale. Exhale fully. Fold forward. As you lift halfway, holding the breath out, scoop the belly up and in. Release the belly, then inhale. Exhale, then fold. Keep the breath out, lift halfway. Release the belly, inhale. And on exhale, gently fold forward, let the knees bend pretty deeply and just release here for a moment. Hang out. Relax through the belly, relax through the spine. Maybe gently shake the head no or nod the head yes a few times. Root down through the feet, keep a bend in the knees. And on inhale, rise, let the arms float up alongside the ears, reaching for the sky. Exhale, melt the arms back down by your sides. Give yourself a moment. Readjust your feet, rolling the right toes straight forward toward the short end of the mat. Pull your left foot over a little bit. We're setting up for Parsvottanasana. We won't be here for too long. We're going to set ourselves up for Pavrita Trikonasana, twisting triangle. So pelvis is relatively square. dropping through the sits bones, activating the belly. Inhale, sweep both arms up alongside the ears. Moving dynamically, on exhale, hinge forward and sweep the arms back until the fingertips are reaching toward the wall behind you. You're just folding about halfway. Press down through the right heel and inhale, sweep the arms forward, then rise the rest of the way up. Again, exhale, hinge forward, sweep the arms back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, and rise. 2 more times. Exhale, hinge forward, sweep the arms back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, and rise. Exhale, hinge forward, sweep the arms back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, and rise. This time on exhale, hinge forward, keep the arms as they are. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides like wings. Exhale, rooting down through both feet, rotate the rib cage. Place the left hand on the floor, on a block, maybe on the shin. Establish the twist. And then maybe you'll be able to soften into a deeper expression. It's about the twist. It's about what's happening in the belly and in the spine. Stay with the breath. One more inhale, try to peel the right shoulder blade a little further back. Exhale, release the hand, step to downward facing dog. Give yourself a breath or two in down dog. And then you're welcome to stay in downward facing dog, or if you'd like, you can move through a vinyasa. When you return to downward facing dog, if you moved through, re-regulate the breath. Inhale, sweep the left leg up and back. Let the hip open slightly. Exhale, draw your left knee towards your left shoulder or armpit. Inhale, float the leg up and back. Exhale, bring the knee across, right shoulder or armpit. Inhale, reach the leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend the leg up and back. And exhale, lunge the left foot through. Setting up for warrior 2. Inhale to rise. And exhale, make yourself comfy here. We're going to move dynamically 4 times. Inhale, straighten the legs, sweep the arms up. And exhale to come back in. Use these repetitions to really find your warrior, both in the movement and in the moments of stillness. One more time, moving dynamically, and then we get to rest in the posture. How can you engage with your effort skillfully? Let the effort be just enough to help you move through some of the behaviors beliefs, patterns that are keeping you stuck. Even if you're not in this moment consciously moving through them, you're strengthening the internal muscle, which will build your trust in yourself and your belief in your capacity to do so. Good. With the next inhale, let's straighten up. On the exhale, let the arms come down, and then again, heel toe your right foot in a little bit further, setting up for Trikonasana. So make sure you feel stable, supported here. On the inhale, just lift the left arm up. Exhale, hinge, reaching out through the left side, and then let the left arm come down. Inhale, extend the right arm alongside the right ear. Exhale, just the arm sweeps back. Inhale, float the left arm to the left ear and rise. Exhale again into Trikonasana. Inhale, extend the right arm, Utthita Trikonasana. Exhale, sweep the arm back. Inhale, lift the left arm and rise. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale, extend the right arm. Exhale, sweep the arm back. Inhale, lift the left arm and rise. Last time. Exhale, find your Trikonasana. Inhale, extend the right arm. Exhale, sweep the arm back and firm up through the thighs. Draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, extend the left arm. Exhale, stay, reach out through both wrists and down through both feet. Inhale, rise, reach both arms alongside the ears, bring the feet to parallel. Exhale, fold, let the hands slide down the backs of the thighs. Good. Take a moment here, catch your breath, and we'll prepare for another round of Uddiyana Bandha. So we're intentionally lifting whatever might be stagnant in the lower energy centers into the fire at the belly, where it has a chance to be transformed. Okay. So I'll slow this down a little bit for you, and then invite you to move through at your own pace. On the inhale, you're going to lift halfway. Exhale, and then fold. Then holding the breath out, scooping the belly up and in, slowly lift halfway again. Release the belly, then breathe in. Exhale and fold. Hold the breath out, scoop the belly in, lift halfway. Release the belly, inhale, and move through 3 or 4 more rounds on your own. When you've had enough, soften the knees, fold forward, and just hang loose for a few breaths. And keeping the knees bent, root down through the feet. Inhale, rise, let the arms float up. Exhale, let the arms float back down by your sides. Give yourself a moment just to be here. Swiveling now so that the left foot is pointed forward, setting up for Parsvottanasana, dynamically moving through a few times, and then moving into Pavrita Trikonasana. Square the hips, drop the sits bones, activate the navel. Inhale, sweep the arms forward to come up. Exhale, hinge forward about halfway and sweep the arms back behind you. With the next inhale, start by sweeping the arms forward, gluing them to the ears, then rise. Exhale, hinge forward, then sweep the arms back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, glue them to the ears, and rise. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. This time on exhale, hinge forward, keep the arms glued to the ears. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side like wings. Root down through both feet. Exhale, rotate the spine to the left. Place the right hand on the thigh, on the shin, on a block, maybe eventually on the ground. But prioritize stability through the pelvis, rotation through the spine, and a churning, a wringing out in the belly. Stay with the breath. One more inhale, opening up, peeling the left shoulder blade a little further back. Exhale, look down, bring the hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Stay in down dog for a couple of breaths at least. An option to give yourself one final vinyasa if you really wish, if it will help you to overcome inertia. With the next inhale, let the knees lower to the mat. Exhale, find your child's pose. Stay and breathe, and just feel into what is currently present in the body, in the breath, and in the mind. On the next inhale, sit back on the heels. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and let the backs of the hands rest lightly on the tops of the thighs. Close the eyes, internalize awareness, and observe the breath. From here, bring a little bit more oomph to your exhales. So drawing the navel to the spine with a little bit more force, effort, but don't overdo it. Slow and steady, like a very slow, methodical Kapalabhati. Once more, then release. Now playing with a pranayama called pratiloma. Same technique we just did with that slow, steady Kapalabhati, but we're going to breathe through one nostril at a time. First will be the left nostril. So we'll use Vishnu Mudra, curling the index finger and middle finger in toward the fleshy part of the thumb, and then bringing the palm in front of the face. We'll use the thumb to very gently compress the right nostril, or better yet, to apply a little bit of pressure right at the end of the bone, where the bone meets the flesh or the cartilage of the nostril. Inhale first through both nostrils, and then compress the right nostril. Exhale with a degree of force through the left. Effortless inhale also through the left. 10 more times. And release the mudra. Effortless breath through both nostrils evenly. preparing to do that on the other side. Vishnu Mudra once again. This time, both exhales and inhales will be through the right nostril. We'll do one together and then 10 on your own. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through the right. Effortless inhale through the right. 10 more times. Release the mudra, effortless breath through both nostrils. Take a seat on the floor, stretch your right leg out to the right side, bending your left knee in. Inhale both arms up. Exhale, twist the sternum to the left. Bring your right hand down onto your left knee or thigh. Keep rolling open to the left as you come into this lateral or side body stretch. Breathe through the left nostril. One more breath here. And with the next inhale, rise. Exhale, set the hands on the knees. Breathe through both nostrils evenly. Switch legs, bending the right knee, hugging the foot in toward the midline, extending the left leg out to the side. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, rotate the sternum to the right. Bring your left hand down onto your right knee or thigh. Draw the navel in so that this isn't a back bend. It's not even really a twist. It's a more genuine lateral or side body stretch. Stay with this and think about breathing through the right nostril. On the next inhale, rise. Exhale, rest the hands on the knees. Breathe through both nostrils evenly. Bring the legs together, extending them long out in front of you. Find a little bit of internal rotation through the legs and draw your toes back toward you as you press through the ball of the foot. Inhale, extend the arms alongside the ears, creating a little bit more extension in the spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Try to keep the spine long and flat for as long as you can. And then let's bring the hands down, either holding onto the outer edges of the mat, maybe the calves or ankles, pinky toe sides of the foot, or taking a little toe lock, wrapping the first two fingers around the big toe. On the next inhale, try to draw the sternum a little further forward, shoulder blades a little further back. And on exhale, maybe bend the elbows a bit more deeply. Inhale, find a little bit more length. Exhale, a little more depth. 3 more breaths like that. Last one. Good. On the next inhale, keep the toe lock or wherever you're holding. Lean back until the arms are straight. Exhale, and then hold the breath out. And as you do, scoop the belly up and in and tuck the chin. Keep pulling back as much as possible as you scoop the belly up and in. Then release the belly. Inhale. Exhale, gently fold. Soften. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lean back, arms straight. Exhale. Keep pulling back, scoop the belly up and in, tuck the chin, lifting through the pelvic floor. Release the hold. Inhale. Exhale, softly fold. We're only going to do it 1 more time. Inhale, lean back, arms go to straight. Exhale, and then lift, engaging all of the bandhas. Keep pulling back as you engage those bandhas. Release. Inhale. And exhale again, softly fold. This time we get to linger in this fold for a few breaths. Releasing the effort that you just skillfully employed. With the next inhale, rise. Exhale and just relax here for a moment. Then bend the knees and scooch up toward the top of the mat, getting ready to lie down. Inhale, find a little bit more lift, reaching through the wrists. Exhale, roll yourself down. A few rounds of dynamic bridge, pressing down through both feet, arms alongside the body. Inhale, float the pelvis up, extend the arms alongside the ears. Exhale, roll back down. 3 more times. For the last round, keep the arms alongside the body. We'll go into a full bridge. Inhale, lift the hips. And exhale, bring the hands together underneath you. Roll the shoulders under you. Keep pressing the back of the head into the mat. Hug the inner thighs toward one another as you press down through the inner arches of the feet. Lift through the sits bones and draw the sternum a little bit closer to the roof of the mouth. 3 more breaths. Once again, observing the relationship between the belly and the heart. The belly being the seat of the fire, of transformation. And the heart, the air, the breath. To expand, to move, to grow. When you're ready, release the hands, shift the shoulders out from under you, and on an exhale, roll your spine back down to the ground. Give yourself a moment here, maybe just letting the knees knock in toward one another to rest. Maybe the arms open out to the sides. Soft surrender. Hug the thighs in toward the belly. Rock the knees away from you and back and toward you a few times. Rock gently from side to side. Give yourself a final spinal twist. Moving to both sides. And then gradually come back through to the center. Keep the sacrum and the shoulder girdle flat on the ground. Let the arms and the legs float up toward the sky. And then just give everything a little bit of a shake here. A shake, a wiggle. Stay with the breath. Let the knees soften and set the feet back down on the ground before Shavasana. Just give yourself a little massage using the middle finger, tracing the upper ridge of the collarbone. So that fleshy space between the collarbone and the neck. Moving that middle finger from the outer edge of the collarbone in toward the middle. Gentle strokes. And then similarly using the left hand to massage the right collarbone. That fleshy space, the little groove or divot behind the collarbone, between the bone and the rest of the neck. Moving from the outer edge of the collarbone in toward the middle. Gentle, long strokes. Curl into one last little ball here. And when you're ready, find Shavasana. Become as comfortable as you can be, giving yourself whatever support or softness you need. And once you settle into your final resting posture, bring some awareness to the belly and drop back into diaphragmatic breath. Slow, steady, soft, diaphragmatic breath. Re-regulating the nervous system. Releasing any unnecessary tension or holding. Softening heavily into the support of the earth. After the next 3 or 4 diaphragmatic breaths, release any intention to shape or control the breath in any way, and allow yourself to simply rest. Invite awareness to return to the breath. Perhaps feeling the movement in the space of the belly. As well as an ascending and descending movement of something more subtle, up and down along the space of the spine, or perhaps throughout the space of the entire body. Invite the breath to grow a little more physically full. Play with some simple movement in the fingers and toes. Move that into the hands and feet, arms and legs, and eventually bend the knees. Roll to one side and curl into a fetal position for a few breaths. When you're ready, rise to a comfortable seat for about 5 minutes or so of a little pranayama and a little meditation. And as you establish yourself here, drop awareness back in the space of the belly. Once again, sensing that warmth and radiance of the inner fire, the power of transformation, that which helps you to move through resistance, to overcome inertia. We're going to play with just 3 rounds of Kapalabhati, about 10 to 15 breaths, beginning and concluding with exhale. On that final exhale, you'll really empty the lungs, empty the belly of breath. And on the following inhale, prana and awareness will rise up the length of the spine all the way to the crown of the head. There may be an inclination to hold the breath briefly at the crown of the head. And then with exhale, prana and awareness together will softly settle at Agya Chakra, the center of the head. And there may be a natural inclination to pause the breath briefly at the bottom of the exhale, at which point you'll return awareness to the belly and we'll begin again. So with awareness at the space of the belly, tending the fire, 10 to 15 breaths of Kapalabhati, emphasis on the exhale, a slow, steady, methodical, deliberate Kapalabhati when you're ready. Final exhale, and then inhale, lifting awareness to the crown. With exhale, soften and allow awareness to settle at Agya Chakra. And then drop awareness back into the belly. And enjoy 2 or 3 effortless breaths. Preparing for round 2, another 10 to 15 breaths of Kapalabhati, followed by that inhale where we lift awareness to the crown. When you're ready. Inhale when you're ready. And exhale to Agya. Awareness descending once again to the navel center. Enjoy 2 or 3 effortless breaths. Preparing for the third and final round. 10 to 15 methodical breaths, utilizing Kapalabhati when you're ready. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to Agya. This time we get to remain at Agya Chakra. Genuinely effortless breath, just holding awareness. Absorbed in the presence and possibly the pulsation of pranashakti within the space of the head. Begin to deepen the physical breath. Bring the hands together at the heart and perhaps bow the head. Rub the palms together and place the palms over the eyes or anywhere else you'd like for another breath or two. Then let the eyes blink open. Move the hands away from the face and come back out to the world. So 2 reflection questions for you. And these reflection questions, this contemplation, is a big part of working with vairagya, non-attachment, detaching from the ties that keep us bound, stuck and stagnant. So the first question, in what specific area of your life are you currently feeling stagnant or stuck? And how does your commitment to that stagnation express itself? And then what precisely are you willing to commit to doing with consistency for however long it takes to overcome that stagnation, to burn through it, to overcome your inertia? And if you want to ever send any of your reflections or any questions that you might have, send them to me through WhatsApp or something. You are always more than welcome to do that. Be well, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
You're
See you
very
soon.
welcome. My pleasure. Buona serata.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
You too.